Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everybody. And welcome to the Dean Callan Show. Today, we are going to be, wait, something is going funny on here. Things go funny, right? Now, hopefully this is all working again. Got a great show for you today. We've got the legend John Gakuru coming into the show, but I don't want to make him wait too long, so I'm going to pour myself my Guinness and get it started. Wait, let me go to Guinness Cam if it's even working. We got the Guinness Cam there. Yep, there we go, Guinness Cam. I'll cut this little screen that has just been randomly added in. No, it doesn't look like it's going to let me do that. It won't. No. Well, what can you do? You win some, you lose some. Yeah, so today's show is going to be epic. We've got John Gakuru on the show, who is like kind of a bit of a hero of mine. I had a really good time traveling around the world as a brand ambassador, and I have to say that I modeled my brand ambassadorship on his brand ambassadorship model. Him, and I have to say as well, Jacob Briers. Those two guys were literally the business when I first started trying to kind of get into the business and break into the game, and I learned a lot from John. And I've also spent a lot of time with him on a personal level when we're in the same country. Unfortunately, John is based in LA right now, and I'm based in London. I'll leave these, go back to the main cam. But yeah, John has spent his career building up Sagatiba. That's when I met him. He was the global brand ambassador for Sagatiba. And you might not have heard of Sagatiba now, but when John was working for Sagatiba, it was on the tips of everybody's tongue. Everybody had Sagatiba in the brain. Everybody was drinking caipirinhas. Everybody was loving everything John did. He threw the best parties. He had the best people hanging around with him and the best people working for him as well. Some of the stories of working with John are legendary from the people that I've spoken to. He moved on from Sagatiba to start working for, I think it was Sweet Chilli next. No, he went to Australia. Anyway, look, I'll bring John in and we'll ask John about it. Thinking of it, I've actually poured 2 Guinness. Let me just top one of these off. And I feel like I've made him wait too long already. I'm just going to bring him in. All right, let's go. Let's do this. How do I cut to it? Where are you? John, how you doing, man?
Good morning. How are you, Dean?
I'm really well, thanks. I don't know what's happening with your video, but it's coming through really quite dark.
Yeah, it's a bit of a moody day. We've had a bit of a cold snap in LA, so.
Is it is it the smog or something?
Let's go with that. Yeah, for sure.
We're going to go with smog.
Yeah, let's go with smog.
So how have you been? How's things?
Things are good, man. I've got nothing to complain about, really. I'm super stoked to be with you. Coming on the Dean Callan Show has been, I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Let me see if I can do something about this video. Let me see. Can I bring this up? Oh, that's a bit better. All right, we're getting a bit warmer here. Now, I'm not getting any comments through, so if anyone is watching this, comment to let us know that the actual audio is working, because it tends to be my the thorn in my side. The audio, all good, still on the wait screen. Okay, well, I'm gonna assume that went backwards. So all good was when it was all good, and the wait screen was when you were waiting on the wait screen. Anyway, John, I poured you a Guinness, mate. I just kind of wished I could just have you here drinking it with me. So here, wait. Let me try something.
I've been waiting for one of these Guinnesses a very long time. Ah!
Magic of cinema.
Wow! You broke the fourth wall. Well, cheers.
Whoa.
The magic of cinema.
This
is delightful.
Cheers, John. So good. Right, so today we're going to be talking about coffee. Isn't that right, John?
Absolutely.
This stuff. I think it might be getting cold out there, John. If you want to come inside, you're more than welcome to.
All right, I'll nip in and
Yeah, you
warm
can hear
up.
me? All right. All right, let's see if I can get this to work. Oh, no. I pushed the wrong button at the last minute. Didn't I? All right. John, I'm just going to move you, okay? So hold still as we do this. Let's see. This is like, can you imagine if someone did this in a real, like, paid production? They were just, like, randomly, like, moving boxes around and stuff. So how have you been, John? How's life?
Life is good, man. As I said, I can't complain.
Come on, go down. There you go. How does that look? You happy with that one?
Couldn't be happier, man.
All right. Happy days.
It's surprise.
So John wasn't meant to be in the UK at all for this, but it transpired that he actually turned up in the UK. So we
I flew here specially.
we went with the like surprise. Would it be better if there was actually a studio audience or something like that? Like we could hear people commenting.
I know. I'm sure you can bring in the applause in post-production.
All right. So the House of Botanicals said, working all good. Awesome to see, John. So it looks like it's working, right? Send a couple of pints over to us, Chip. Stop moving around, John. Right. We got feedback. Thank you, guys. Right. So today, apart from drinking a pint of Guinness, cheers. We're going to be talking about coffee, right? And I kind of mentioned this to John earlier that I don't think at any point in time on the show I've mentioned that I really like coffee. I'm not a person that you would assume drinks a lot of coffee.
I think you have enough energy for all of us.
Yeah, I've usually got loads of energy. But today we're going to be going through coffee. And how do I pronounce it again?
Naivasha.
Naivasha coffee. Right, so check this out. Like, guys, I'm going to change my camera to this one. Right, so John, if you want to, we'll do it like, ooh, look at that. So you're going to explain the whole, like, this is the packaging.
Yeah.
Look how sexy the packaging is. You bought coffee, it arrived, you're like, wow, look at the Stealth Plus shiny bit. And then inside, like, it's every color. And then it's like, this is every color in the rainbow, isn't it? It's every color.
Well, black by definition is every color.
Is it? Yeah, that's it. That's why it's my favorite color, because it's everything. I haven't made a decision.
So no, I was inspired by a couple of other businesses. There's one called Supermoon Bakehouse in New York, and they have a holographic box for their incredible baked goods. And when you see that box coming and it's a gift for you, you know it's going to be amazing.
I see.
So I really wanted to add this kind of holographic touch.
I love it.
Matte black is just, it's where I'm at.
I want to have T-shirts printed with the Dean Callan Show in Reflecti. I wonder if you can do that.
Anything can be, if you can think it, you can do it.
If you can figure out how that works, I'm in. Right. So explain to me, because I'm going to read this out. This is what I do, right?
Okay.
So when I get a product in here, and normally the person wouldn't actually be here in real life, I take the product and I read everything. So box win, right? And one of my favorite things in the world, magnets. I love magnets. There's magnets all through this whole bar. Magnets are my thing, right? So love the box. I'm keeping the box, by the way. This is gonna go up on a shelf somewhere. It's gonna have some fancy stuff in it. I don't know what yet.
Well, I mean, in California, of course, cannabis is legal.
weed boxes.
Quite a few friends of mine have said that that's what it's going to be used for.
All right. So edition is Moja.
Moja. So I didn't want to create a kind of cliched African brand. I wanted to create something, cool and contemporary and, eclectic and international. But being Kenyan, I really wanted to have touches of Kenya and Swahili throughout the brand. So Moja is Swahili for one. So this is my first edition.
Okay.
So it's the Moja edition 1. Eventually there will be 4 editions, starting out with this one, which is the rarest and most expensive.
You started at the top.
100%.
Yeah. Like, why do anything else?
That's
right?
it. We've met, right?
Yeah. And country Kenya. Obviously, you're from Kenya.
Yes.
So I went with John to Kenya and we hung out on a beach for a couple of weeks. And we made coconut cream from scratch, the old school way, which was my favorite thing.
Yes, we did.
And then monkeys stole it, legit. I got loads of photos of that and video, actually.
Yeah.
I got loads. It's amazing. I'd love to play them. I just realized that I didn't tee any of that up. Preparation would have been great. And then region, you've got
Kirinyaga.
Kirinyaga County.
Yes. So Kirinyaga County is in the foothills of Mount Kenya. And yeah, I mean, if you Google it and go and look at Mount Kenya, you'll see that the county, Mount Kenya is sliced up like a cake or like a pizza. So there's this almost like perfect triangle which forms.
And the triangles coming out are different counties.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
So from the summit of Mount Kenya down through the foothills, it's literally divided like a pizza, and each.
I would have used dartboard, and the mountains, the bullseye, right?
Okay, that's where we differ. I went for pizza.
Oh yeah. Pizza probably tastes. A bullseye, you're attacking it. Yeah, that wasn't a great analogy, but in my head, I've seen a bullseye. Right, and I'm editing your little crop so I can make you bigger as we're doing it. And that's why I'm discreetly putting my hand over here. Right, so altitude 5,600 feet to 6,000 feet. How much is that in metric? Do you know?
I've honestly, moving to America has fried my brain with imperial versus metric. So. It is. You Google it.
We'll have to Google it.
Yeah, jump on a unit converter and
if there's someone on there right now able to Google it, like feed it back in the comments. It'll be great. And then someone who's not bothered with Googling it but wants to know will learn from your comment, and you will add and enrich in the show. Add to and enrich in the show. Right. So we'll find that out later. Variety. Right. I'm going to attempt this. Baragwi Timu Peaberry.
Very good.
Well, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
Baragwi?
nailed it.
All right. So, is that native to?
No.
It sounds like it's an African thing.
Very much so.
Okay.
So there's a couple of things in there. Baragwi Timu is actually the cooperative. So it's the name where the coffee beans are processed. So if you wanted to have a look, it's referred to as Timu Factory. And Baragwi is this particular varietal.
Okay, nice. Very cool.
And a pea berry, for those that don't know, most coffee beans that we're all familiar with are two halves of one seed that grow inside a single coffee cherry. So that's how coffee beans start out. They're the seed. And most coffee are these two halves. A pea berry is just one seed inside a coffee cherry.
Okay, cool. Wow. Is that so? It's not so the normal coffee you're using a lot more, but this is one particular bit.
Correct. So most coffee cherries, something like 95% of most of coffee, so your Arabica and Robusta, etc., are two halves of one coffee cherry's seed.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then a pea berry is just is one seed inside one cherry. So essentially, it's half the yield.
Wow. What's the difference with that one seed? Is it like...
So, I mean, the differences are very subtle and you'd need to be a super pro. However, what makes it special and different in our case, in Naivasha Coffee's case, is that there is a very small yield. It is about 1 to 2% of Kenya's total yield of coffee. And Kenya is one of the world's largest producers.
Okay, nice. Cool. So you've gone, right, I'm going to spec out a coffee that's for me, and you're like, what's the best of the best? And you're like, tick.
Yeah.
So it's like when you go on the Range Rover website and you just get all of the extra features and then find out how much it costs.
Guilty. And then you pay it.
I've done it with an iMac, a computer recently, right? I used to do it maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and the highest spec computer you could buy in the Apple was £12,500. It's now 100 and something. Or no, maybe it's 56. It's £56,000. I could have bought a car. That's how I know, right? So I was like, man, I could buy a Range Rover for that. Right. So season November to December. Is that harvest season?
That's the harvesting season.
volcanic loam soil.
Yep.
You've gone into so much detail here.
Mount Kenya is a volcanic or a volcano. It was. It's now dormant, but yeah.
So it's got that red soil. Like, is it that rich red soil, or is it?
No, well, volcanic loam tends to be quite dark, almost black.
Okay.
But Kenya, if you go on safari, yes, there's a lot of iron-rich soil in Kenya, as you remember.
That's where I was getting that from.
Once you go up into the foothills of Mount Kenya and surrounds, it's much darker, almost black.
Okay, cool. Processed, washed, and dried on raisin beds, and that's your.
Not on raised beds.
Oh, I thought making a bed out of raisins. I was expecting a cherry flavor to come from this. Right, on raised beds.
Yeah.
Right, Dean can't read. And then roast is light. So that, right? Here's a question: light meaning like between first and second crack, or like after second crack, or how does that work?
So what I've done is work with an incredible roaster in downtown LA.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a coffee expert. I'm far from it. But I've obviously learned a huge amount. So with my roaster, it was all very serendipitous how this particular bean and this particular coffee came to be. I was working through the idea of setting up a coffee brand, and I'd met this coffee roaster. His name's Brian. When I first moved to LA, so it must be almost 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
And at least 5 years ago. And he's just a wizard, super nerd. And I walked in one day, I rang him up, said, can I come down and talk about coffee? I walked in and he said, I cannot believe you have walked in today because we have just finalized the roast for this insane Kenyan limited edition pea berry called Baragwi Timu.
Wow.
And he goes, like, I don't know why you decided to call me today. I don't know why you're stood in my roastery today, but I've just finished. Do you want to taste it?
So, like, he's there and he's making some badass Kenyan coffees, just finished a roast, he's got it nailed, and then a Kenyan walks in.
Correct. saying he'd quite like to start a coffee brand.
I want to start a coffee brand. Wow.
True story.
That's actually pretty epic.
Yeah.
And then you worked with him to kind of,
Exactly.
it was basically, you got a good start right from the beginning.
So I know I haven't answered your question, and the reason I haven't answered it directly is I have this implicit trust in this guy's ability. Like, he is a magician.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. So we partner. I do the brand, and I've created the brand and the packaging.
Sorry about the noise.
It's all right. It's good noise when
it's
you're making
hot water
coffee.
coming. Yeah.
So I've created the brand and the packaging and the story, which is really personal to me, really personal. And I leave him to do the coffee.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
to tell me, that this is insane, and it is. Naivasha, for example, again, jump on Google Maps. If you look just west of Nairobi, Naivasha is a town just west of Nairobi in the Rift Valley. And it's actually where my father's tribe originally comes from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from that
Super
part
cool.
of Kenya. So also
it really brings it home.
Yeah. Also the etymology of my last name, which is Gakuru, Gakuru. If you look in the chain of lakes in the Rift Valley bed, there's Lake Naivasha, and the next one north from there is Lake Nakuru, Nakuru.
Wow.
So my last name and our Kenyan heritage comes from that part of Kenya.
Wow. So cool.
Yeah.
It's, you know what? Like, for me, it's amazing to see that all your hard work and all your kind of brand work and agency work and whatever else it is has built up to you having the capacity to make a limited run of your own coffee.
Yeah,
and it's more of a, is this like you want to take on Starbucks, or is this a personal project?
I'm afraid my pricing is probably going to prevent me from doing that. But no, look, I really, as I've gotten older, Kenya has become more and more important to me. You've been there, you know what it's like to touch
amazing.
the soil there and meet the people, and
We spent a couple of weeks in Kenya, and every morning we woke up to like the Lion King song being blasted through, because we were getting up early in the morning going on safari and doing cool stuff. And we went to 40 Thieves.
We did go to 40 Thieves,
which was epic.
Which, if you remember, and I'm not sure if it was your trip or another one, but it was coming up for World's 50 Best. And a bunch of us all voted for it. Yeah. And all voted for 40 Thieves as world's best bar. And it got into like the top 20 or 30 or something.
Wow.
I mean, ridiculous. Oh no, it was just outside the top 50.
We should do that again.
Absolutely should.
I've had loads of people be like, I voted for your home bar, and I'm like, you can't do that. Like even they know who I am, so they're gonna be like, oh, idiot.
I think
you have to sell drinks. I just drink them.
Yeah, but I think a world's best bar is not about it's not about just mixology. It's about how it makes you feel, how it connects with your your soul. Does the room have its own personality?
A room smells like coffee right now, which
really
is kind of
does.
making me salivate. So I think I want to I wanted to start right by asking you, is it possible to do some cupping? I don't know how many times you get guys asking you if they can cup your beans. But like, are we able to do that? Do you do that? Have you done that? Or should we just make a coffee?
Let's just make a coffee.
Yeah?
You know,
Okay.
the cupping thing, I want Naivasha coffee to feel accessible, and not too nerdy.
Okay, yeah. Okay, all right.
I want people to feel like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah. I see what you mean. All right. So we'll start with this. So I'm gonna have to change my grind and stuff. So for everyone else, I should have thought about this. How am I going to do this?
Coffee cam.
I'll have to cut to a coffee cam. I have to cut the coffee cam. I was going to put coffee cam in the little bottom bit, but
okay.
Now I know I would have to sit and press numbers for a while, and I'll just cut to it. I'll cut me out, keep you in, and we'll talk. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see which one's coffee cam. Coffee cam is 5. Bam, boom. Has that worked?
Yes, coffee cam.
Yeah, we got coffee
is
cam.
live.
Right, so coffee cam is live, and here's the grinder. So we're going to go with, and we're going to put some beans in, start with, and we're going to go with a big, like halfway between a percolator and an espresso, right?
Yes.
Grind for this.
Yeah, medium fine.
Medium fine.
So I don't know if you've got a close-up cam, but if you pull one of those beans out, you can actually see what a pea berry looks like versus a regular half of a coffee bean.
Oh, right. So it's like, because these are tiny.
Yeah.
I wish I'd kept some. Wait, I do. Hold on. I have a regular coffee bean. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I've got it. I've got coffee beans for garnish on espresso martinis.
Nice. We're working live here.
All right. Look, unfortunately, until I have an assistant, this is what people are going to have to put up with.
I
me
love
running
it.
out to do stuff.
It's really real.
Right. So, I don't know where the focus is on this. It's going to be back here somewhere. What's the best camera to do that from? Camera 3. So I'll cut to camera 3. Right. So camera 3, people. Here you go.
That's it.
About there.
So the larger bean
is the normal one.
Half of. So every single coffee cherry for Arabica, Robusta, etc., Kenya AA, is 2 of those in one cherry fruit, coffee cherry fruit.
It really doesn't do it justice, this view.
No, but you can see.
See that?
Beautiful.
Look at the difference.
Great work.
So the little one is the baby bean, and the big one is your everyday coffee bean.
By baby bean, you mean pea berry.
Pea berry. The pea berry. The little. All right.
That's
all
it.
right. Back
We
to
did
coffee
it.
cam. See, it's handy that I have all these bajillions of unnecessary cameras. All right. So, John.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you now to be a bit geeky for me, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So, what if I'm doing 1 cup?
Yep.
And I've got my little. What should I be?
So this will actually do 2 cups. So you want to do 28 grams of beans, medium fine. And if you can't see it on Coffee Cam, there's a mini scale underneath.
Yeah, so what we're
These
doing
glass.
here is I've got my little, like, what looks like, I mean, for want of a better word, drug dealer scales. And but, we're grown-ups and we're doing coffee now, right? So you got your little glass in here. And then this allows me to change my grind, which I'm going to go on 28 so I can remember it for next time. Got my beans up in the top, and then, right. I'm excited about this.
Right.
I'm
live and direct.
This is me super excited. I'm going to look at.
So while this is happening, you could wet the filter.
So it's 1,700 meters.
Oh, great.
All right, so they can see there, and I'm just going to put a little bit. All right, there we go. I'm going to put a little bit of hot water in so that any dyes or smells. You were telling me about this before, John.
Yep.
And your husband bought you one of these.
Yes. I've got all the coffee
Nice.
kit, but I got one of the fancy kettles.
I want one now. I want one now.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to put my alarm system on silent because the cabin now has an alarm system. And sometimes I forget to silence it, so it starts buzzing in my pocket to say that someone is robbing you.
Nice.
All right.
I'm sure they won't for the next 45
No,
minutes.
at least for the next hour. Right, so we got this. I'm going to ditch that water.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, so we can get coffee cam out of there for now. I'll cut back to me. And hopefully that keeps, I'm loving this, getting my settings better, getting better at the settings on these things, because it used to be the case that every time I cut camera, it would lose the picture in picture.
Oh, I've been watching for a while.
It's going to get better. When I get my intern, it's going to get better again. Right, so we've got this in.
Yeah.
Next stage.
Next stage, you want the water to be just off the boil. So boiled and then sat for a second or two, which is fine.
Yeah, I'm going to double check that.
But then a couple of other bits of information while that's happening. All of the packaging is made from 100% recycled materials. And so Moja is Swahili for one. So Moja edition is the first edition. We'll be, as I say, launching another 3 editions, which will be Mbili, Nene, and Tatu.
Is that
which
two,
is
two, 3, and 4?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 3 and 4 the wrong way around, but that's okay. And yeah, I wanted these little details of Kenya, but not overtly kind of African or cliched. And in the back of the box, inside it says Asante Sana.
I seen that, yeah.
And you remember what that means?
Nope. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend. But
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Asante Sana. That's so cool. I was panicking there because I thought it was thank you, but I wasn't absolutely sure.
So first you put enough boiling water all the way around, get all of the grounds in there, and you cover the coffee first, and it's going to do something called bloom. Bloom is where it kind of foams. I've learned, because I said I'm not a coffee expert. There we go. So that foam, that almost crema on the top, is actually gases that are being released. So the coffee beans, a gas builds up in the beans during the roast, and this bloom is that gas kind of escaping. So you want to cover the grounds once, leave it sit, let that drain through, and then in a circular motion, starting from the middle, moving out, you want to put it on some scales there, Dean, and...
oh, right.
Sorry,
yeah, bigger
your
scales
big
this
scales,
time.
Yeah. We're going to do this super nerdy.
So I'm glad that I have all these gadgets.
Yeah,
you know?
me too.
And this is the first time I've gotten to actually use them on the show. I tried to use my ghetto prep, my sonic prep that early show, and the sound just destroyed all audio in the room, and things started vibrating on the cameras and stuff. It was a bit of a disaster, so I gave up on the gadgets. Right,
This
so
is spot on.
we ready?
Yeah, we want about 400 grams-ish of water.
Okay, 400 grams of water, so we're at 0. So
we might do a bit less because that's a lot.
Cyprian's just asked, what is the ratio of coffee to water? And yeah, it's as John just said, we're actually weighing out how much water we're putting in.
So you can stop there, let that drain through, or filter through, I should say. And there you have. And honestly, I wish there was smell-o-vision. So when I went in on to my roaster in LA, and he told me that he just dialed in this perfect Kenyan limited edition Kenyan Peaberry, which is Moja edition. he also had some other Kenya coffees that he was working on, and we ended up doing a tasting with 6. I didn't know which was which. And when we got to this one, no jokes, I actually choked up just with the aroma, because I didn't even know I had the memory in my brain of being a 5 or 6 year old kid running around in Nairobi. And it was the smell of my mother's kitchen. She made coffee every day, Kenyan coffee, every morning. She's a real coffee addict. And when I got to this one, which I think was maybe number 4 in the tasting out of 6, something in my brain and body choked me up. It was really, really evocative. And, I knew this would be the one, but we carried on and did the tasting, and here we are. Moja Edition is that one that
it smells amazing.
Choked me up. Yeah, it is.
And it's such a cool, because the cabin is a smaller space than it might look on a camera. So the aroma just fills the room, and you've got that I can't wait to taste this.
You've got that. Today's going to be a great day.
Yeah, this is a nice, and I just got a shiver of goosebumps just thinking about waking up to that smell every morning.
Nice.
I like myself and Axel make mummy coffee every day.
I've seen the footage.
He's starting to get a bit bored of it now, because he knows how to do it, so he's over the task. But I'm going to get him frothing milk as soon as mummy will let me near him. He's not 2 yet, so putting him near a steam wand is kind of a bit dangerous. So I might bring this back up to the boil. Oh, we don't need it, do we? No, we're done with that.
Yeah.
So it's at 234 grams. Do I need to bring it up to 400?
You can. Let's not for the purposes of the show.
The show, yeah.
But yeah, you can certainly.
And for the purpose of the show, I'm going to just move this on. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Because I'll only be cleaning it up later. We can't be drinking too much. Now, coffee cup. Second one in here.
So this is really, there's so many things that again, as I've gotten older, that are really important to me. Connecting back to Kenya, connecting back to my roots, my heritage, it has become really, really important to me. And Naivasha Coffee is a purpose-driven brand, and we will, in time, be supporting water security in Kenya, ensuring that Kenyans all have equitable access to clean water. Because a lot of water is used in the production of a wet processed coffee bean.
Yeah.
So there was a logic there as well.
Yeah. So you're taking, but you're giving back at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Honestly, my experience of Kenya was phenomenal. Just the people were so they had so much life and happiness and energy. It totally not what I was expecting. It was very different to what I was expecting. Right, so there you go. And
here we go.
Wait. Do we cheers?
Of course we do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right. Oh, I'm so glad I got that right. That tastes good.
That's spot on. And you could double the amount of water. You're not going to kind of dilute it, if that makes sense. It's still going to pull through a beautifully balanced
so
coffee.
good.
I've been so lucky, and thank you to all my friends who've supported me in this little endeavor. I really, really appreciate it very, very much. And I've had some wonderful friends feedback with tasting notes and hints of this and beautiful acidity and well balanced. And I think if I was going to, my favorite comment, if I was going to leave a kind of elevator pitch for the experience of enjoying Naivasha coffee as a pour over, would be that it is light and delicate, yet somehow rich.
Yeah.
So it's not that kind of dark roast kind of bitterness. There's none of that. It doesn't need sugar.
I think it's because, all right, so for me, drinking this, I'd say a lot of super finite, single origin, hipstery kind of coffee. You get it, and it's either really bitter, and they've gone oh, bitterness is great, and you're like, okay, well, it's not really that balanced to my palate,
right.
Or it's sour.
Yeah.
So some coffee beans I get, I'm putting them through my machine, and I'm upping the temperature of the espresso as the water coming through to try to cook off some of that sour note.
Yeah.
And putting extra pressure into I'm like grinding it finer and finer to trying to get rid of some of that sour note, and I just can't because that's the coffee, right? And it says on the back like acidity, and so I'm like, oh, I'm not ordering that again. But this, when you talk about the richness, it's smooth, so it's got that like easy drinking. It's not overly bitter. It's not astringent. But when the richness is, it lingers. It stays on the mouth. There's a fattiness to it.
Yeah, agreed.
So it's not richness in the way that a rich sugar syrup would be rich. It's rich in that it stays around. It hangs on.
And there's a. It's just really well balanced.
I got that, like, I've had a little too much coffee buzz. Wow. And it's like, I mean, is there more caffeine in this than normal? Like, it feels zingy. Maybe I'm just excited. Like,
I think you're just excited. I think this is classic Callan.
I get to play with gadgets on the show. Speaking of which, can I mean, I've already run this past John. John said, okay, it's going to be messy, but okay. I want to make an espresso.
100%.
So I want to make an espresso so we can make an espresso martini, which I've just realized I don't, yeah. I have some coffee liqueur here. Right, so grind is going to need to be different.
So what we'll do is focus on the espresso itself first, and then we'll worry about the espresso martini after. So we want about 18 grams in. So 18 grams of Naivasha coffee.
Now I'm gonna bring this back to what I think is the grind for it.
Yep.
And
how would you describe that?
If you've got one of the Sage machines, I use a 12 with an 18.6 on it, but we're gonna be doing it by weight, aren't we?
Yes.
So I'm going to be doing it by weight today rather than a timed clock. I'm just hoping that it comes out nice. But normally I'd go 12, 18. And this time I've got 12 and then I've got 20 set as the time. And I'm going to run a little bit of the grind through so that I'm not getting coarse grinds at the beginning. So that, in case you're wondering, I'm not just ditching coffee. Right, so an espresso grind needs to be a much finer grind than your percolator or espresso coffee or filter coffee because you're putting pressure through it to get the oils out. Is that right?
100%.
Right? So I had Martin Hudak come to the house and set up my machine.
I'm so glad you mentioned
see that? See, Espresso Martin. So he came to the house, set up the machine, and gave me coffee training. How to make an espresso right at the beginning.
I owe Martin a huge debt of gratitude. It was his beautiful coffee brand, Spiritual Coffee. Please go have a look at it. Grab some of that too. He inspired me. His brand was the kick up the ass I needed during the pandemic to actually do something. And I kind of reckoned if Martin could do it, I could do it.
All right. So he inspired you to do this.
Yes.
All right. So I might cut quickly to coffee cam for everyone so they can. I don't know how much of a difference that's actually going to make to them. Right. So. There you got your coffee cam. So I've got my scales in here. They're my little scales. I've tared them off. I've got a glass there for it to come through onto. And then I'm going to drop it into my grip handle thingy, right? So is it 20 grams?
18.
18. Come on. You can do it. 10. We're at 11. 14, 15.
Suspense.
Will he get it? Oh, no, I messed it up. Damn it. All right. How did I still mess that up? I've seen it coming. Right, so let me take a little bit off of here. Is 18.1 okay?
I'll let it slide. So now you need to, This is great because I'm absolutely not meant to be in the UK, so to actually be here and go through this live.
Yeah, this is way more fun. If you were, not drinking a Guinness and on a camera miles and miles away, it wouldn't quite be the same. You wouldn't be able to smell.
No.
The smell is amazing. Like this, it's such a nice smell. I hope that it just stains, that this smell stays in the books. And then forever when you walk in, it's like,
John was here.
Coffee. Nice. So how much coffee are you actually going to be making? Right. So it's a limited run. You're going to do 4. Is it 4 or 3?
So eventually, hopefully by the end of this year, there'll be 4 editions.
Okay.
All 4 will stay on all of the time,
unless
edition 1 sells out. So this one, Moja edition, is seriously limited. It's only harvested in November and December. What I purchase is it. If I don't buy enough to meet my own demand
for the year,
then it will sell out.
But I mean, like, it's not like you're doing the coffee and then after a couple of years it's done. It's like a
no,
because it feels like you said it's a passion project, right?
Yes.
Right. So I'm gonna cut to my overhead cam so I can. Where is that?
Do the tamping. There
so I can show, right? Like, there's my espresso machine. I got my little guy here, and then just in case Martin watches. So he can see that I'm like at least trying to remember the technique he taught me. Right, there we go. Right, so I think he's gone now. I'm gonna unplug him after. We'll put Mitch's minute on, which is my like genius opportunity to reset the whole place. And I got this weird feeling that the camera and audio might be out of sync. So it'll be good to be able to see how many frames were out of sync and then adjust it back. Right. So coffee cam. So I got this at 95 degrees. Was there any temperature and pre?
No, that's good.
Draw? That's good?
Yep.
Ooh.
I'm excited.
Right. Now.
Let's hope it comes out as good as the one in practice earlier. Perfect.
Let's do this. And oh, wait. That was close. Where's the scales?
Oh.
Huh. What's the weight at the end?
So we want, actually we can do it on time. So we want 25 to 30 seconds, basically. It should end up being a total of about 28 grams.
28 grams?
Yeah.
Come on. Ah, yes. All right, let's do it.
It's good, the suspense.
Oh, it's on the pre, yeah, it's coming out. It came out both at the same time. Yeah. Because if it comes out just one, it means that it wasn't an even temper.
Yeah.
That's my fault, you know?
No, that's perfect.
I think I probably could have gone a bit finer.
Looks good from here.
All right.
Let's see what it looks like.
Well, it was 29.
That's fine.
It's quite a bit higher than it would normally be.
Yeah.
But it's got nice crema and stuff.
Lovely crema.
I think I definitely, maybe it's my machine, but I definitely could have gone a bit finer with that or put a bit more weight into it. How does it taste? Can I do my own one? Can I do another one?
I insist.
All right.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be sharing stuff, are we?
No, it's probably not the best. All right, so. It's so funny because the instinct, wait, it didn't tear properly. Damn it.
Oh, this is criminal. Just put it
in I know. It's so.
Another glass.
Here, I got it. So let's tear. Yes. I don't like wasting that.
No. Right. Especially this.
All right.
So your hot chocolate thing.
You're seeing the little, like, this is our. Stop. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, we're good.
That's all right.
I'll just wing it. This will be wing. Let's play.
I mean, making coffee has still got to be fun. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not a.
Well, that's your whole thing, right? You didn't want it to be too geeky. You didn't want people to take it to the point that, like, it's not enjoyable.
Exactly. I'd love people to know, the difference between pour over and espresso and how to get the best out of Naivasha coffee. But it's not about nerding out every morning. In fact, what it is about a ritual. So many of us have routines every day, and a routine, you don't need your brain, right? A routine, you can drive yourself from home to work and back again without even requiring, your brain.
Without Google Maps.
Exactly. And without thinking. Whereas a ritual is where you derive pleasure from every step and stage of the process. So getting the grind right, getting the temperature right, the time, the extraction, all of those details that get better and better, more, the more times you do it, is the difference between a routine and a ritual. So Naivasha coffee is really for those that love the ritual.
Yeah.
And derive pleasure, exactly as you're doing now, from just, tinkering with things and, perfecting each little step.
I'm making it feel like it does in the morning.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm making it feel like my my breakfast coffee with Axel.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, here we go. Don't worry about the scales. It's just make an espresso as you would.
Yeah.
No, I mean it.
Sorry.
That's not me mean. Also,
all right, took longer. So this is like, I haven't changed the grind, but I've packed it differently.
Okay.
So I've probably gone too far. Yeah. It's not drawing through enough. Damn it. See, look, this is what happens when you wing it.
It's going to be delicious, and it's okay. It's just going to take a minute.
It's going to take
While
a long
that is
time.
happening,
Yep.
extra special for today and for you and for this show, Naivasha Coffee has an extra special discount code.
Okay.
It's only live for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
So it went live at 6 p.m.
And you can order it here.
You can order online to anywhere in the world.
Amazing.
The discount code, if you go to naivashacoffee.com, is Dean Callan Show. That code is extra special.
I'll put it up on. I'll write it on the comments in the Mitch's Minute.
Yeah, definitely. And it's only live for the next 24 hours. So, attack.
All right. It still looks good. Look, it's got nice crema and
That
stuff.
is beautiful. Have at it.
Oh, I'm gonna keep that set up so that I can do another one for our espresso martini. But I'll tell you what I'll do.
I'm gonna be jacked.
I'll do one espresso martini and I'll split it into two tiny little baby glasses.
Perfect.
Oh, smells amazing.
The aroma is just next level.
Okay, so this is more my style.
Oh yeah.
I like espressos.
Right.
I love that. That was delicious. But now, because my basis for comparison is espresso.
Right.
So now I can
it.
more confidently compare it. Yeah,
right.
It's amazing. Oh,
I mean, look, I recommend Naivasha coffee either as pour over, or as I love it as a piccolo or a cortado.
Mm-hmm.
So just a single espresso or a double espresso if you're so inclined, and then a splash of steamed milk.
oh, I can't even see it. I have a little tiny. Yeah,
There you go.
you seen these?
Yep.
They're the little Le Creuset ones.
Love it.
Yeah,
I'm
so
actually gonna
cool.
have to get some of those.
All right,
Do
so
they come in black?
I don't know. I got all the colourful ones. You know, Le Creuset do like the big pots,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, I have
Cast
a
iron.
Darth Vader pot. It's a big cast iron pot, like massive, and the lid has Darth Vader's helmet protruding out of it.
Why do I
It's in
absolutely
black.
believe that?
Yeah, that's my Guinness stew pot, right?
Makes sense.
All right, now I'm going to cut to Mitch's Minute. We'll give us a minute to get this all reset, make one espresso, and then we'll join you back in. Right, Mitch's Minute. Bam.
All right, I'm back. First day back on my Pfizer shot yesterday. Past my jet lag. Happy to be home with my wife and kid. So how much would I pay for a cup of coffee? First, let me not so humble brag. Bring my cost of Morning Joe up to, let's call it $18 with this single origin Mr. Black St. Ali Peru collaboration. I mean, it does. How much would I pay for a cup of coffee? It comes down to a question of quality, right? The most expensive thing I own is a 5-figure jacket that I bought 13 years ago that I still wear every winter to this day. Still looks great. I've slept in it in bushes. It's easily the nicest thing I own. Every time I wear it, it looks like I stole it. But it's lasted the test of time, and I think that's a quality thing. So it comes down to not how much I pay, but how good a quality it is.
So it turns out 1 minute is not enough time for me to clean out and reset another espresso. I now know how long I take to do stuff. So next time I'm waiting patiently for an espresso at a coffee shop, I won't be like, what are they taking so long? Oh, I could do this in a minute. Nope, I can't. Right.
It's great. Good things take time.
It feels good.
Problem.
Feels good. This one's going to be a good one. Wait, I'm just going to wing another tiny little dash.
I mean,
This flies against all of the instructions. Like, if Martin does watch this, he'll be pulling his hair out. He'll be like, Dean, seriously.
One job, bro.
Yeah, I taught you. You mentioned my name. All right. So I'm going to put it straight into this. Right. Super cool. So what else is on your plans?
Well, I mean,
For the near future, you obviously got to get back into LA, and how does that work?
rather painfully. Yeah, I've got to quarantine for 14 days outside of Europe and UK before I can get back into the US. So I'm probably going to head off, early April, 2nd or 3rd of April. I'll get back into LA, mid-April, and then I've got some cool projects on the go alongside Naivasha Coffee. So that's all really exciting, and it's just I'm really happy, pleased, and proud to be able to connect back to Kenya, as I've said, and do things that really mean something not mean something. They enrich my heart and soul. How's that?
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to, once we're allowed to be adults again, I'll be able to head back to Kenya and, go meet the growers and the farmers and the producers. Definitely going to shoot some content.
Yeah, nice.
That's all in the works. I hope to be able to do that this year, but, the pandemic will dictate that timeline.
Yeah.
Not much any of us can do about that. Kenya's doing okay with it, but it's still there.
Yeah, you don't. I never thought to ask about that. Like, how is Kenya doing with it? Well, I don't hear anything coming out of Africa.
I mean, Africa in general, except for South Africa, has done. I mean, nowhere's doing well, and it sounds terrible to talk in those terms, but there's a younger population.
Yeah.
Life expectancy in Kenya is in the late 60s. Versus America and Europe, where it's well into the 80s.
Yeah, and it's the post 60s people that are actually vulnerable, right?
Correct. Yeah. So and also Africa, a lot of African countries have dealt with pandemics before with things like Ebola.
Yeah, they dealt with Ebola.
Yeah.
So they've got experience.
They've got experience, and they've got processes and procedures in place, and ways of communicating and getting messaging out. That seem to be quite effective.
I'm going to put a tiny bit of sugar in this. Is that all right?
Do your thing, man.
All right.
Your
I'm
rules.
doing old school kind of Dick Bradley sort of way.
Nice.
And then right at the last, I am going to ask you. See black straws. Even.
I get it.
So cool. Just until they bring out shiny, reflecty ones.
Well, hold the phone.
Yeah, it's so funny because I've got these are my two.
Nice. Nice.
How cool is that?
My at-home milk jug for my morning coffee is exactly this.
I've got
rainbow.
Oh, I've got a matte black one.
No, I've got a rainbow version.
Oh,
just like this.
One of those.
Yes, but that.
Game on, John. I'm getting a second one.
Yes.
I'm getting another one. I didn't know there was a rainbow one.
Yeah. Ours is a rainbow household anyway. So.
Oh yeah. I didn't think of it. Who was it? I was watching a show recently on YouTube where someone said that you're so old that when you were born, rainbows were in black and white. I love that so much.
That's nice.
Oh, I love that one. Right. So what are we? So we've got our Mr. Black's coffee liqueur.
Yep.
Dash of sugar. A good solid measure of espresso. Would you like tequila, or would you like vodka?
Oof. Your cabin, your rules, man. I'll leave that to you. I love it all. If you wanted a curveball and do a split base tequila and mezcal.
Okay, I can do that.
I mean,
we're going to split base tequila mezcal.
why not?
So we've got some Fortaleza going in.
This is going to be...
And then,
this is gonna do the
well, how do
job.
we find a mezcal that holds up to Fortaleza?
Probably don't need to overthink it.
Yeah.
But
This
that's not your
is
style.
the cabin. All right, I'm going to go with this guy. All right, so gosh, this is an ensemble mezcal, so it shouldn't overtake the Fortaleza. If that makes sense.
This has got some power on it.
It's going to be punchy. I was only meant to be making 2 tiny little baby ones, but there might be a bit of an overflow. Just because I do have a tiny touch of a sweet tooth.
That's all good.
Yeah.
So do I.
And the coffee's got my hands going. Right, so this is the martini glasses I was planning to put these in. Right, so I might take an overflow one. So we'll go with this guy for the
beautiful.
overflow. Right.
Or maybe make the full one and split the rest.
I'll have the full one, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, rock and roll. Whoop. Get out of there. It's so funny because, like, the coffee's got me so excited I'm not actually able to concentrate. I think it's also been a while since I've seen you, John, so
It's been
it might be that
a long while.
in itself as well.
Yeah. So
And also, no one commented, the code is massive. But, well, people are commenting. Right, yeah. Yeah, so there's loads going on.
is that?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Who's in the room?
So we've got Diogo, make that espresso martini with some Sagatiba. Oh, we read it too late, buddy. I'm so sorry. Sebastian, is the coffee available in the US, right? So
yes, it is. And
so-
it actually has free domestic shipping in the US.
it has free shipping in the US, right? So we got Jenna, right? Great to see you, John. Josh Jordan is,
Yes,
he
bruv.
won't, I can't add him, but Bobby Caldwell in the background, this can't be better. Douglas. Douglas has signed in to say hello, John.
What up, Doug?
Nice, so good. Right, so let's see how this works out.
It's gonna be
The
great.
world's most expensive espresso martini. I mean, it's not just the coffee; it's the
most
Fortaleza.
luxurious.
Oh, you don't like the word expensive?
No, because
That's not what it's about.
no, and what's one man's store is another man's seeing. So
Yeah.
the saying goes, and it's really about value. It's
about quality.
It's about quality, and it's about
As
value,
Mitch said.
value for money. And I derive a huge sense of satisfaction and pride from putting this brand out there. It's a very personal story, very personal journey. It takes in my mother, my father,
Yeah.
myself. It's a purpose. It's a brand with purpose. So I'm extremely proud of what I put together, and all of the feedback that I've got. And I'll say it again. Thank you
Yeah,
so much to
it
everyone
tastes great.
that has supported me and Naivasha Coffee. It really does mean a huge amount to me. So thank you.
All right.
So how's that pour?
Not far off.
Not far off.
I mean, it's not too far off.
That would
Right.
have been.
It's definitely not 2 little baby ones. But, right, don't they look
Beautiful.
cute?
Beautiful.
They look nice.
And those will separate into perfect espresso martini colors.
All right.
All right, let's see if I've got the shakes as well. Cheers, bro.
So
I think I
much
do.
coffee.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we do. It's like, right. Oh,
Bro,
that's good. That's full of flavor. And it's hard to tell which ones, like, it's not like...
I'm really enjoying the split base, I gotta say as well.
It's not straight up, it's not Fortaleza, but it's also not Mezcal. It's balanced out quite well.
And it allows the coffee to shine.
Yeah. Wow. And there's like a dark fruitiness that comes through from it as well.
Yeah. That's very characteristic of East African coffee. So Ethiopia is actually where coffee very first came from. But they have a slightly different process. They dry process versus Kenya's wet process. But both are usually light roast. And so that's what those sorts of notes of black fruits, like blackberries and blackcurrants, come through.
Oh man, this is amazing. Well, look, John, I know you've got a short amount of time to spend in the UK, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. We're on the hour mark now, so it's kind of time to tune out.
Vaporized.
Yeah, it goes fast.
Damn.
It goes super fast. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much. Use that code if you can. It's available for 24 hours. And I will put it on the comments as we close out.
Dean Callan Show.
Dean Callan Show. Like all one word?
All one word.
All lowercase?
All lowercase.
All right, rock and roll. Cheers, guys. Have a nice night.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, John.
Cheers, Dean.
Chat.